Look, economy is at around 4.5 trillion now when we talk about India GDP.
That insurance is basically risk transfer of unknown future. If I know that I will have problem tomorrow and I go to the insurance company and buy insurance company will not give me insurance.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Startup Connect BFSI edition episode 1, presented by the Startup Network. So, today's theme is basically simplifying insurance from policy choices to claims confidence. Insurance is meant to be to bring a peace of mind, yet for most of the people, confusion begins right after buying it. From selecting the right policy to handling claims, the process often feels complex, uncertain, and that's exactly we are here to simplify it today. Before we begin, a quick word about the Startup Network. It's a curated community of founders, entrepreneurs, innovators who come together to share ideas, stay ahead of the trends, and grow together through collaboration. To know more about join and to join, visit the startupnetwork.in. You will also find the link of it in the description below. Now, coming towards today's speakers, we are joined by two remarkable professionals who represent the two sides of insurance journey. First is Mr. Siva Prasad Padhi, a faculty member of XIMB University, a qualified cost and management accountant, and a licensed surveyor and loss assessor with over 22 years of experience. He's an industry veteran and a mentor who has helped countless professional students understand the true essence of insurance. Built on ethics, transparency, and fairness, his perspective bridges academic learning with on-ground industry realities. And then we have Mr. Abhay Singh, co-founder of INKA Insurance and one of the distinguished alumni of XIMB. Having learned the trade through years of hands-on experience, Abhay sir is now innovating the way people experience insurance using AI-driven insights and transparent recommendation to make the process simple, fast, and unbiased. So in a way, today's discussion brings together the academic spark that inspired new thinking and the real-world innovation that turned that vision into impact. Welcome, Abhay sir, and welcome, Siva Padhi sir, to this discussion. So let's
Thank you.
begin with Abhay sir. Insurance is shaping up in such a manner that it transitions from being a transactional product to a more personalized product. How does INKA position itself in the shift and ensuring customers not only buy the right products but also understand its long-term value?
See, this decade is actually a decade of personalization when we talk about insurance. And that's where INKA comes into the picture. When I started INKA along with Vaibhav Karju, the main idea was to give education to user about their insurance need, right? Abhay is here, Shiba sir is here, Biswajit is here. But do they really know what is your insurance need before buying it? So that's where education comes, educating about personalized need. And that's how a normal person should start understanding insurance, right? Then comes, once you understood the insurance, then it is time to choose the product that matches your profile. And that's how the buying journey completes.
Yeah.
Right. What was the second point that you asked? Can you just repeat? I will answer that.
So it's like how does INKA position itself in the shift where ensuring customers are not only buying the right product, but also the product is providing them with the long-term value?
Yeah, so the long-term value comes from understanding the features of the product. For example, if I can take example of a product like Care or from Aditya Birla. Now, these product, if I buy today, I will get say a 10 lakh sum insured. But in 6 years, it becomes 60 lakhs. Or there are products from ICICI or HDFC which give me infinite claim one time in my life. Now, these are the values that I may be using after 15, 16 years once I bought this product today, right? The long-term value also comes from term insurance products as well, where maybe today I may not be claiming, but I may need it after 10 years or 15 years, like my family may need it. to make customer understand that these are very important things for you in long term, is basically educating user about their future needs of insurance, and that's what INKA is doing.
Yeah. Okay, so now our question would be for Sibas Padi sir. So you often step in as a claim assessment stage where buyer's understanding meets reality. Based on your 22 years of experience, what common gaps do you observe between policy terms and customer expectation that leads to disputes or rejections?
At the outset, thank you, Biswajit and the whole team for this efforts and for this arrangement.
Okay, sir.
Very nice initiative to take insurance education forward, and I'm sure this particular session, the outcome would help the users. When we talk about your expectation of the policyholders and the gap between policy terms and customers' expectation vis-a-vis the dispute and rejections, let us divide insurance into three parts. Right, one is a life insurance, second is health insurance, the third is property and liability insurance. As far as life insurance goes, we all are pretty aware that the claim settlement process is not very elaborated or long or difficult or time consuming. It's a very simple process where a life insurance company settle the death claim or maturity claim in a very time bound manner. And even before maturity of a particular policy, many times a life insurance company initiate the claim settlement process. So the expectation of a policy holder vis-a-vis the policy terms and the disputes are very less, I should say, in case of life insurance. Coming to health insurance, this is in fact an area of concern where the policy conditions, the warranties, the exclusion, the waiting period, and whether it is a cashless claim or the reimbursement claim, actually there are so many factors which affect to a health insurance claim. The expectation of policyholder in comparison to policy terms and the design of the policy, along with the disputes and rejections, are pretty vulnerable, I should say. So this is an area where claim settlement is in a very vulnerable condition, because we very often encounter and experience that claims in case of in case of health insurance are very I should say to be handled very carefully, and the disputes are rising day by day. Though there is a very beautiful process of cashless claim settlement and a reimbursed claim settlement, still both are now facing some kind of trouble or difficulty due to many regions. So just to begin, I should say that the second category of insurance where claims management is very important, that is that is health insurance, is actually has certain gray areas or area of concern. Now, if we come to the third area, that is property and liability, we call it as non-life insurance or general insurance. Here, the claim settlement process, though it is quite standardized and regulated, and the process is in place, the intermediaries are in place, still there are many situations. In case of many situations, the disputes arise, and the gap between the expectation vis-a-vis the policy wordings, terms and conditions are also wide in certain cases. Just to summarize my discussion in relation to your question, what is my expectation in relation to the gaps that I observe between policy terms and customer expectation, which leads to dispute and rejection, I will say that the gap is wide in case of health insurance and property insurance, in the sense many of the policyholders, I repeat, many of the policyholders, whether individual or corporate, whether organized or unorganized, they don't understand the risk coverage in detail, the terms and conditions, the warranties that a policy contains in detail. They don't understand what is policy excess. They don't understand the principles of indemnification or utmost good faith or insurable interest, the foundation of which, on the basis of which a policy is based upon. They don't understand what is the impact of underinsurance on average clause. So in a nutshell, the gap is wide, as far as claim settlement is concerned or the experience of a customer is concerned, in case of health insurance and property insurance, particularly the policy wordings and conditions and less or inadequate understanding of a policyholder as per as expected as per expectation, he should go through and understand the terms and conditions and warranties, but there is a huge gap due to which actually dispute arise apart from many other condition.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. So our next question would be for Abhay, sir. So as you know that many platforms nowadays rely on AI to recommend policies, INKA also uses the similar algorithm to stay unbiased. Do you think that AI could play a key role in the claim stage, or do aspects still need human expertise?
Right. So yes, INKA uses data plus AI to recommend insurance or write insurance to the customer. How it works is basically we use the credit data from a credit bureau named Experian, and we make a profile of the customer and we match it with the product for the customer so that he knows that what is the right product for him. When it comes to claim, obviously AI will play an important role, but I would always say that human intervention will always be required, right? Especially health insurance, what I have seen now, that people are going to the house of the customer when they give a reimbursement claim to verify whether this is the same person who is living or whose identity is correct or not. So saying that AI will completely take over in claim time, I would say no. Yes, AI may be there because initial investigation probably can be done by the AI and which are for a small claim, but you will always need human intervention, whether it is at the time of claim or at the time of buying. You will not be able to exclude human from the insurance process.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. So now a question would be for Siba Pade, sir. So with your experience as a licensed surveyor or loss assessor, where do you see technology and AI genuinely supporting and not replacing the human judgment required in claims evaluation?
Look, even technology or artificial intelligence cannot replace the manual intervention, as rightly said by Abhay Singh, sir, as far as claim assessment or claim settlement is concerned. No doubt it is an enabler, and it always helps all the intermediaries, including the underwriter, to improve their operational efficiency, because technology was opposed by banking industry maybe 2 decades before, and we know what is banking industry today and what is the role of technology in banking industry. Fact remains, life or health or normal non-life insurance, the use of technology is limited, right? Only in certain functions and in certain areas, technology can be extensively used and are being used, whether it is in distribution, whether it is product designing, whether it is research, or whether it is pricing, whether it is risk assessment before underwriting stage, data analysis and machine learning, or even kind of technology is used extensively. But when it comes to claim settlement, when it comes to distribution at a personal level, it needs human intervention. That is why perhaps we have around 45 lakh insurance agents or distribution intermediaries, not agents in particular, but the distribution intermediaries in insurance sector, both life and non-life and health, goes up to 45 lakhs, right? But yes, I firmly believe and we witness that technology is now extensively used even in all the three, I should say, sectors: life insurance, health insurance. Health insurance, undoubtedly, it's a branch of non-life insurance, but handled both by life and non-life insurance companies. But as it is, a majority of the non-life insurance sector is health insurance. As much as 37% of the entire non-life insurance business comes from health insurance alone. So it's a major market. So health insurance, life insurance, and non-life insurance Technology is extensively used, starting from intimation of a claim to deputation of a surveyor, intimation about the visit, intimation about the documents required, and not only that, even many times we also take use of technology to conduct a virtual survey. Virtual survey. Let's say before I visit the spot, I would like to make a detailed virtual survey, sitting at a remote place, maybe hundreds of kilometers away. So that is a big help which technology offers in claim settlement. Similarly, technology is widely used today for data analysis, for fraud monitoring, and to fraud, how to eliminate that fraud component in claims. And even in certain cases, reports are also, to generate reports also, technology like AI, like boards like Chat GPT or some other boards are used. We know that for customer service, almost all companies are very extensively using their boards and their framework. So technology is extensively used, but it is limited, in fact, to a great extent in insurance industry. But the back office, administrative function, pricing, decision making, data analysis, technology is extensively used in insurance industry also.
Yeah, okay. So now a question will be for Abhay sir. So as Siba Padi sir rightly mentioned that a major reason people hesitate to buy insurance is the confusing language. So how is INKA simplifying those jargon to make insurance processes more transparent and approachable by the general mass?
Right. So first, let us understand what is confusing language. So I will give you an example of a very simple term which is used in health insurance is room rent capping, and how a person can be cheated by someone who is selling him insurance. So I know a story. One of my known person's neighbor had a surgery around 1.5 years back, and the hospital bill was 1.5 lakh. And he had an insurance of 15 lakhs, so he was assured that my 1.5 lakh bill will come. But at the end of the on the discharge day, they had to pay around 60,000 to the hospital. The insurer paid only around 90,000 for the bill. Why? There was a room rent capping which they were never aware of. And what room rent capping does is, suppose my room rent capping is 4,000 and I take a room of 8,000. So not only my room charges gets doubled, but whatever are charges of doctor visits or the equipments or the MRI or some scans, all of that, that also gets doubled or will be charged according to the higher room. And that's why a 90,000 bill would have come if he would have taken a normal room. Since he exceeded his room rent capping, in that case, it become 1,50,000. So a very normal term like room rent capping is very difficult for a normal user to understand what is this. Then there is co-payment, there is sub-limits that people have to understand. People have to understand what is the difference between a group policy and retail policy. So what we practice on our website when user completes their information filling journey and the INKA insurance report is we tell them that, like, Abhay, these three terms are the most important term for you when you're looking to buy policy. For example, if I am a 28-year-old person and probably I will be about to get married, or I am already married and I'm looking for a child, so can a policy that I buy which may have maternity cover in that policy, so those terms should be explained to the user. Room rent capping, what is room rent capping is basically is the maximum cap on the room that you can take while getting admitted into the hospital. So these are the practices that we are following in our website so that user can understand that these 3-4 terms are the most important term in the policy, and what is the meaning of those, what is the meaning of room rent capping, what is the meaning of co-payment, what is the meaning of sublimits. When it comes to interaction with our callers, while user, when he completes the journey and when he decides, okay, I want to buy, but I want to understand more, or want to complete the buying process, that time our caller also explains them that there may be hundred of terms that you must understand, but there are 5, 6 terms which are very important in the health insurance industry. Waiting period. So there are 3 types of waiting period in health insurance. One is a 30 days waiting period where only health insurance will be, accidents will be covered. Then there is a 2 year waiting period for a specified disease. And then there is a 3 year waiting period of PD, permanent, sorry, not permanent, pre-existing diseases. And so these things customer has to understand before they make a decision of buying the policy. So that's how we do, first on the website and then on the calls. Both way we are able to explain to the user that these terms which are important and you should understand in the most easiest language that is possible.
I would like to add to what Abhay Singh sir was referring, particularly in relation to health insurance. To a great extent, the policy wordings, terms and conditions are understandable to a great extent in case of health insurance. But when it comes to non-life insurance, general insurance, take it for granted, as per my understanding, 99% of the insured, the policyholder, they must not have read the policy wordings. Policy wordings runs into few pages, written in very small font, and the language they use to explain and to describe the terms and conditions and exclusions, at least half of them are not common wordings, and anybody who's not insurance literate will fail to understand the implication of each and every terms and conditions, right? I just want to add to Abhay Singh sir's statement that the one of the reason for which people to a great extent are facing difficulty not only in health insurance but also in case of property insurance, non-life insurance, is because the wordings, neither they are simple nor they are communicated, nor the policyholders have any interest to go through that, nor it is provided to them. So that is one of the area where probably we as a community, we as an industry want to seriously work on. No doubt, life insurance penetration, when you look at it, is 3%, and non-life insurance is only 1%, right? So three-fourth of our insurance industry pertaining to life insurance, where fortunately terms and conditions are not many, rather I should say nil. There is hardly any exclusion, hardly any terms and conditions in case of life insurance, right? Hardly. There are a few, but that is very easy to understand and not doesn't make much of impact at the time of claims for which a person takes insurance. But it is actually health insurance and property insurance where the policy wordings are a certain area where, in fact, that is one of the area which triggers the dispute and resentment and dissatisfaction amongst all the policyholders.
So, Siva sir, building upon the point of insurance literacy, you have also been deeply involved in the insurance education and training space. So, how can you see that uh, mm, our country strengthen insurance literacy not just for customers but also for professionals entering into this field?
Uh, Look, 4% of GDP is contributed by insurance industry. Banking industry also contributes close to 4% of our economy for our GDP. Now, without insurance, probably economic progress, economic growth, and risk management cannot be thought about. The best way to manage risk is, transferring risk by insurance way. That is what we have been taught and learned and practicing. But this is not taught at at school level or at college level. This is not at all a compulsory paper where when we talk about finance inclusion or financial literacy, it is not taught to a student, maybe at a very young age or even at higher education level, that there is a risk management tool available in form of insurance where risk can be transferred by way of entering into a contract and by way of paying a premium. So that is why when you look at the number of policies, in case of total number of policies in our country, it is only 26 crore. We have 150 crore population. Many people have multiple policies, but the density and the penetration, when we look at, we are not comparable to many other developing economies. We will not discuss how the industry was completely under government control till IRDI regime till 2000, 2001. But the focus of government and the regulator now onwards should be more on insurance education, insurance literacy, and bringing this awareness even at school level and college level, that insurance of all forms, life, health, and property and liability, is a requirement for everyone depending on their need and disposable income, of course. And that awareness need to be inculcated in form of including it in the curriculum. This is my personal opinion. Then when we come to insurance awareness, look, a person is taking an insurance policy without knowing what is covered, what is not payable, what are the conditions which he has to abide by, warranties which he has to abide by, and what he is supposed to do when there is a claim. Majority of the people are not aware. So they are also insurance illiterate. They are policy holders, but they are insurance illiterate. Keep life insurance aside. Life insurance, fortunately, to a great extent, I believe the entire process has been streamlined and settled. And there is no complicacy where by way of issuing a policy or endorsement or even at the time of claim settlement, right? But when we look at the other two major sectors, non-life insurance sector and health insurance, I think there is a urgent need to make the policyholders literate. Except a very few corporate executives who handle insurance in their organization, or except very few professionals and intermediaries like Abhay sir and his team, very few people today in our country understand the nuances of insurance. For example, if you are GST registered under a law, or if you are filing a return, the minimum basic understanding you have relating to income tax, this is a standard deduction, this is eligible, this is the tax rate, this is the tax payable, this is TDS, this is everything you understand. But here, at the time of taking a policy, it is either imposed on them in on many cases, or they take it as per the terms and conditions of their loan sanction. Very few of them voluntarily, willingly take a policy and willingly take attempt to know the terms and conditions and coverage and exclusions. So that in that way we can also call them illiterate. They also need to be sensitized. Third thing, when it comes, please appreciate life insurance. I'll take one example. I'll take two examples, one life and one non-life, and three health also. Life insurance. Now, whenever there is an advisor or so-called agent or salesperson, distribution intermediary, they have their own way and approach to tell about the life insurance need. We have different approach like a thumb rule approach, income replacement approach, family need approach, and there is a human life value approach which we teach to our students in the classroom. Now this human life value approach is, you can say, one of the scientific approach, very simple to understand, but there inflation is considered, time value of money is considered, future inflow, future outflow, need analysis is considered. If you give a complete picture to a person who has disposable income, I'm 100% sure willingly he would prefer to take a life insurance coverage. What kind of policy comes next? Term or endowment or wealth plan, as Abhay sir was telling, or ULIP, that is a different call altogether. But how many of us, we have understood that I need to analyze my life insurance need when I'm alive, considering all these factors? Number one. We talk about health insurance, right? Fortunately, government schemes has covered, is providing health insurance coverage to many people who are in need of that in form of different schemes. Good enough, whether it is Pradhan Mantri scheme or respective state scheme of different states. But apart from 10 to 12 crore people who are working in organized and unorganized sector, out of 150 crore people, right? If you also leave the people who have been provided, who are covered with any social insurance scheme, social health insurance scheme offered by central government or state government, maybe still there are 40 to 50 crore of people, including family members, who need health insurance coverage, additional health insurance coverage, or a second health insurance coverage. Many of them also can afford and have disposable income, but they are not aware about this need. So we can also call them an illiterate, insurance illiterate person. The insurance literacy has not reached them. And forget about property insurance. It is still, we know that property insurance is only availed by a very few selected business organizations and individuals. Otherwise the penetration and density is pretty low, right? I'll slightly give you a data. In India, we have 60 plus companies. All companies, if you add together, it goes to around 65 or 70. Life, non-life, standalone, specialized, all. But in USA alone, there are more than 5,000 companies. If you Google, you'll find around 5,600 or 800 companies are there in US alone. What is the reason? Insurance has not been promoted there, but the need of insurance has been felt there in that market. 30 crore population, world's largest economy, but the insurance penetration and density, if you look at of that country, you will be very surprised. It is very, very high in comparison to our country. Reason is what? They have understood the importance of risk management by way of taking an insurance coverage, whether health or life or property or liability. So that awareness, that need analysis is grossly missing in our country. I'll give you another example. Professional indemnity policy, professional liability and indemnity policy, key man insurance policy. These policies are extremely required by any organization, any professional. Like, but how many of us, we have taken a property, professional liability, in the professional indemnity policy or a key man insurance policy for our organization? How many of us we have insured our own office? Forget about very few structured or organized sector. Right? How many of us we have insured our household goods, household contents? How many of us we insure each of our travel that we make in out of the country or inside the country or whatever? So that is why the insurance literacy level, I say, if you ask me to rate it from 10, I should say 2 to 3. The present situation of insurance literacy in our country, out of a scale of 10, can be rated maybe at 2 or 3. But still, companies are happy, regulator is happy, government is happy, we all are happy because the industry is growing. But the growth rate probably would have been abysmally different, substantially different, if this insurance awareness goes to the next level. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Siva sir. So now our question will be for Abhay sir. So INKA is currently operating mostly in the B2C model. Do you see a future where INKA can collaborate with corporates, brokers, or financial advisors and move into more of a B2B model kind of structure?
Yeah. So we are a regulated entity, Biswajit. So we are corporate agent. So that way we cannot partner with the brokers, like you said, or agent. But there are two ways I can see how we work or will be working in future. We are a very new company. We got licensed around 6 months back. But one I see in corporates. In corporates, I normally do master classes for them to educate them about their insurance needs. I do along with HR. And there I always say that you people have your corporate insurance, group insurance, but they just feel like if I have this, I'm covered and I don't need anything more. I always tell them, just think there are three conditions that may happen which you never thought of. Your job loss can happen. A person who is living in Bangalore, his firm suddenly decided that we are wasting too much money on insurance of 10 lakh. Let's bring it down to 3 lakh. Now, for a person who is living in Bangalore, what is 3 lakh for hospitalization? Right? And the third thing, when they retire, and this is the most important thing, today I may be 30, 35, I am in good health condition and I have corporate insurance and I am very happy. Oh, 10 lakh rupees or 15 lakh rupee cover is there. My corporate is paying and I don't have to do anything. But think about the day at the age of 58 or at the age of 60 when you decide to retire or you are forced to retire, and the body will not be the same, right? it goes down with time, may have issues of BP or there's diabetes, hypertension, or maybe a broader issues. The insurance company will not be ready to cover. And to secure that time, that at the age of 60 I have insurance, I should take insurance when I'm healthy. We make people understand, and this is very important message that people need to understand, that insurance is basically risk transfer of unknown future. If I know that I will have problem tomorrow and I go to the insurance company and buy insurance company will not give me insurance, or in future when I claim, they will deny my claim. And that education is missing in India, I believe. And obviously Shiba sir can put more lights on that. And that's what we do. We are going to corporate and we are educating users about their insurance need and how they can see insurance to understand what all they can do with that. The second partnership that I see is with Shiba sir, obviously, at the time of claim. Now, I have sold some insurance. I have sold many insurance in my 14 years of career. But at the end of the day, insurance is there because claim is there. And if I don't know how to claim, or if there is no one who can support me at the time of claim, and what will happen if my claim is rejected, people have no idea that how will I go to ombudsman? Are there any few ladders which I have to cross before going to ombudsman or to the court? That people have no idea. So these are the two partnerships that I can clearly see happening for INKA in future.
Yeah. So our next question would be to Sivapadi sir. So if such kind of platform exists, let's say for licensed experts or surveyors, where do you see that? What are the standards check that can be done to make it more credible or trustworthy for both customers as well as the insurers?
As a surveyor and loss assessor, I can only, tell one thing, that the code of ethics for surveyors and loss assessors is in place. If that code of ethics, which every licensed surveyor and loss assessor strictly follow, then probably, the trustworthiness between the customers and underwriters would be more, right? Whether it is in form of TAT for claim settlement, or it is immediate response to attend a claim after getting an intimation. It is maintaining transparency, because there are many regulations. Thankfully, we have a very strong, and I should say robust regulatory mechanism in insurance sector also. Banking, yes. Banking 100% yes, because we know that we as a country, our banking regulation is so robust that even during difficult times, country did not face much difficulty. So equally important and effective is our insurance regulatory system. The regulations in form of for many different functions, they have regulations, and if that regulation is actually very strictly followed by the underwriter and the intermediaries like a surveyor and loss assessor, then probably the trustworthiness of this service product called insurance would further improve, right? Whether it is one aspect is insurance literacy, what you were saying, though I do not have a direct role to play, but I have a moral responsibility to be a part of it. But as a licensed surveyor, I need to have my ethics to follow, and I need to follow my professional, expertise to ensure that the TAT is in place, the turnaround time in respect to claim settlement is done. Abhay sir was very rightly saying a policyholder at the end looks at his claim, right? The claim may arise, may not arise in case of a property loss or a health insurance claim. Obviously, the claim is a mandatory claim otherwise, unless it is a term plan in case of a life insurance policy, right? But how fast, how smoothly how the customer is given importance, and in case of a dispute, how the steps have been explained to him to go for redressal of his disputes is very important. So when you talk about trustworthiness, these factors are very important, right? Underwriting plays a very important role in case of both health insurance as well as in case of property insurance. Explaining the provision in detail, explaining the conditions and wordings and exclusions in detail, following the principle of utmost good faith, not hiding any material fact by both the parties, can actually increase the trustworthiness. Okay, giving him the entire set of documents, not only policy copy, give him a copy of claim form, give him a copy of proposal form, give him a copy of policy wordings, and also give him a do's and don'ts in case of a claim as a ready reckoner or a quick referral. That would actually increase the trustworthiness between the customers and insurers, right? Why insurance is so popular in other countries? The developed economies and the developed countries, there are very few exclusions. The conditions and warranties are very few. Fact remains, the moral hazard is also less there. Maybe because of our moral hazard, the insurer, the underwriter, or the regulator, or the designer, product designer, they have imposed so many terms and conditions, right? But gradually, maybe when we talk about insurance for all, or we talk about a developed insurance economy, we have to reduce our terms and conditions. We have to make the terms simpler. We have to reduce the exclusions, and the transparency in form of a clear understanding is to be provided at the very first stage itself, that is at the time of taking policy. These things can actually increase the trustworthiness between the customer and insurer.
As Sibasa, you have reviewed countless claims over your year of career. So how important is like the pre-claims documentation and consultation for preventing any unnecessary losses or rejection for genuine claimants?
Yeah. Look, uh, I will restrict to non-life insurance here, because health insurance is again a vast area which I don't want to mix with non-life insurance. So this discussion I will make in the context of only general insurance or non-life insurance. Uh, Insurance is a specific contract, as we all are aware. Indian Contract Act 1972 is very much 1872 is applicable to this insurance contract, apart from many fundamental principles, right? So the one of the fundamental principle is principle of utmost good faith. That means at the time of taking policy, and sometimes during the currency of the policy, both underwriter and policyholder or proposer is supposed to explain each and every relevant fact without hiding them, right? So that at the you're talking about pre-claim documentation and consultation. Both the parties must give this factor into its due importance, right? And whenever there is a proposal, what is covered, what is excluded, and what is the peril that is which is the cause of loss which is to be covered and payable, must be very clearly explained to the proposer. Location, what would be the risk location, and whether the risk location is exactly the location where the risk lies, or it is a different address. It also needs to be rightly addressed during the pre-claim documentation and consultation. Many of the claims we find that the risk location is different, loss location is different. In that case, claims are repudiated, claims are not paid, because insurance is a specific contract. If risk is covered at a particular location, means that particular location is only covered. There is no question of sympathy, unfortunately, in insurance business, because both the parties will go as per contract only. Then another thing is the period of insurance. Many times also the period of insurance during pre-consultation and even during before issuing the policy, the period of coverage also is to be mentioned very clearly to them. Any retrospective date, certain policies in case of which a retrospective date is available, so that is also to be explained to them. Then whenever there is a pre-claim consultation, I would certainly urge the proposer or the policyholder or the insurer or the customer to go for a detailed risk inspection. Usually risk inspection is done when the claim is when the proposal is large. right? When the risk to be covered is large, then only pre-inspection is done. But if pre-inspection is done in more and more cases, there would be more clarity, both from the underwriter side as well as the policyholder side, because the premium would be accurate, the peril can be clearly understood and covered, and the location can be covered. The adequacy of sum insured is another area. Many a times, due to inadequate sum insured, there is a deduction because of underinsurance. So what we find in real life situations, scenarios, the insured say, I was not disagreed to a higher sum insured, but I was never told by anyone. I was not aware that if I have a stock of highest 1 crore at any point of time, then I have to take a insurance of that highest stock amount, even if average stock is 70, 80 lakhs. So these are the few things which need to be very clearly explained it to them. Proposal form, which is a very important piece of document and considered to be the base document of insurance contract, is to be very carefully filled in by the proposer in every case insurance, proposal, life, non-life, or health. And the policyholder or the customer is to be explained each and every term in detail. So when you are talking about, pre-claim documentation and consultation, this is a very important phase. And if an underwriter handle it properly, many of the disputes can actually be avoided at a later point of time.
Okay, sir. So now a question would be for both the guests. So the insurance industry is at a turning point. The technology, transparency, and trust are like converging at some point. So what do you believe will define the next big shift in how Indians experience insurance over the next 5 years? Abhay sir, you can
Okay,
start.
okay, thank you. So, insurance, obviously, industry will be first defined by the regulator, how they see the industry, and that's how they make the rule, and we have to play under that rule. But I see importance of AI coming, definitely in insurance sector. Importance of hyper personalized reports about customer, that is coming in next 5 years. And I also see at the time of claim a broader understanding of the claim process to the customer. So why his claims are getting rejected today. In fact, I was talking to a customer, his claim got rejected and there was a very vague line written, which I also was not able to understand why it is written. But over the time, insurer has to give a clear understanding to the customer why the particular claim is rejected. So these three things I see in next 5 years: a better claim process, a role of AI, and personalization coming in next 5 years in the insurance sector. Obviously, with the blessing of
Yeah, Siva sir, you
Shiva.
can. Yeah.
Look, economy is at around 4.5 trillion now when we talk about India's GDP, right? And we are growing at 6.5 to 7%, right? With this growth rate, maybe we will reach 10 trillion in another 10 years, right? 8 to 10 years, right? Now, once we become a 10 trillion or 15 trillion dollar economy, that means 3 times to 5 times growth, insurance industry would also equally grow, right? Uh, I don't find much difficulty or problem in distribution of the insurance product. Thankfully, the distribution channel, whether it is traditional distribution channel or the new gen distribution channel, right, they are probably doing a wonderful job. They are making the product rich, but the need for distribution would increase. And as Abhay Singh sir was also rightly saying, it needs to be highly personalized, and the claim settlement, which is one of the parameter for selecting insurance as a product, would be a key factor. So insurance companies probably would be more focusing on claim settlement quicker and faster, and without repudiating for any petty reason or silly reason or avoidable reason, or avoiding all those disputes which is possible. I think the focus of underwriter or insurance company would be more on claim settlement and customer retention in the next 5 years. Apart from enlarging the market, of course, a few new products have been introduced, which will also probably would help, like bonds. We are talking about indemnity bonds or insurance bonds that would also grow. But nevertheless, market would grow in the next 5 years. When we talk about market would grow, and the technology introduction use of technology is also equally expected to be more intensive in all the three fields. For example, I'll slightly tell about motor insurance, one of the non-life insurance product. Now, 10 years back, motor insurance claim settlement was done in a very traditional way, right? Very traditional way. Health insurance, of course, from the day one, as it is a real-time basis of claim settlement, they were very focused. That is why there is a TPA, third-party agency, who is active as a claim settler in case of health insurance. But motor insurance, if you study the way of settlement of motor insurance claims 10 years before and motor insurance claims settled, that is today, you will find there is a huge difference. Reason? They have standardized the claim settlement process. They have standardized and very particular about that turnaround time. They are using technology. I'll not say extensively, but they are using technology in a big way for settlement of motor insurance claims. Right. That is why, to a great extent, motor insurance claims settlement process have been probably can be said to have become smoother, customer friendly to some extent. Number of disputes are there, will be there, but it has been reduced. Customer satisfaction level, if you really study on a sample basis, has gone up in case of motor insurance, right? Competition is also equally growing. Market is also equally growing. Premium is also equally growing. Claims are also equally growing. But there is a win-win situation for everyone. But the same is required for health insurance. Same is required for other products of life insurance, including property and liability.
So finally, one sentence of advice for young founders or professionals entering the BFSI field. Abhay sir.
Look for regulation, read regulation very clearly, because that is what will help you to drive your business in long term. Read the fine prints in regulation and understand what regulator wants, and build your business according to that.
Yeah, Siva sir.
I always see insurance as a very typical, service product. The triple P concept is very much there in insurance. Anyone who's, associated with insurance industry as a service provider, or as an intermediary, or as a regulator, or as a underwriter, or any value chain in the value chain, should definitely feel proud of, because they're dealing with people. They are covering the risk to which people are exposed to, and at the time of distress, it is insurance which comes, to their help and to their rescue. If properly managed, if properly selected, if properly sold, then probably this industry, as we know, the CAGR of this industry is the highest amongst all the service sector. This industry is a sunshine industry, growing at a very high rate of CAGR, and it will grow further. So anybody who wants to enter into the insurance business, or has already entered, if pursue the profession passionately, then I think it is not only satisfaction at individual level which he will get, but it is a direct contribution to economy, I should say. Helping the customer is definitely there, but apart from that, we are directly contributing to the economy. So we should feel proud of, definitely.
Definitely. So current now we'll be moving forward to our rapid fire round. So we'll be asking like some 10 to 8 questions to each one of you, and you can give it on an answer on like with one word or one phrase as you like. So first we'll start with Abhay sir. So Abhay sir, insurance industry in one word.
Promise.
So biggest myth customers you still believe have about insurance.
It's for me only.
Yeah.
That my policy covers everything.
So one thing every buyer should check before purchasing an insurance.
Their own insurance need.
Tech or empathy? What drives better decisions?
Empathy along with tech.
Okay. Hardest challenge while building Inka?
Uh, that's gaining trust from customer since the beginning. Yeah, because we are a small startup.
So your proudest moment at Inka?
Getting a claim settled for one of the known person who was not our user, but what happened? Her husband passed away, unfortunately. He took term insurance, but from four different insurance companies. And that's where I came into the picture. My chief of customer experience officer came into the picture. We spoke with her. We spoke with various insurance companies. Now, since policy were very bit old, so bit old means 10 year, 12 years old. So we got it settled within 2 to 4 days. But that there was a lesson also. That don't buy term insurance from 4 or 5 different companies. If one decline, then everyone will decline. One or two company maximum is good.
One habit that makes a great insurance professional?
Uh, Read policy wordings, as Sir said. Understand the product that you want to sell to the customer. That is one habit one should always have in insurance industry.
If not insurance, what sector would you innovate in?
I will become astrologer if I'm not in insurance.
The most underrated skill in BFSI startups?
Regulatory navigation.
The future of insurance, personalized or predictive?
It will be predictive.
Yeah, okay. So now our question would be for Siba sir. Most common reason between why a genuine claim fails?
There are many reasons, but the most significant reason is not understanding the policy wordings, coverage, and exclusions, and sometimes not giving proper information in the proposal form based on which a policy is underwritten.
The most misunderstood type of insurance?
I would tell it to be loss of profit policy, LOP, or what we call as consequential loss of profit policy. People have not understood it, but a very sought after, much needed policy for any business entity.
The hardest part of being a claim assessor?
Sometimes, not always, we see the loss. I realize and I see and I witness the loss. But I fail to recommend because of non-coverage or exclusion or any issue relating to underwriting. So that time, as an individual, I really feel sad and I feel as if I fail in my duty uh, as far as claim settlement is concerned. Assessment goes in one part, we do it in any way, but in every case, we are not able to recommend the loss. That is the sad part of it.
One change that could fix half of India's claims issues?
Understanding the policy wordings, conditions, and exclusions.
What frustrates you most during survey and loss assessment?
Yeah, sometimes we find that the intimation is lodged at a delayed period, right? Sometimes we find that people exaggerate claims, right, with a fraudulent motive, which is a moral hazard and moral hazard to both underwriter. And the last but not the least, many times we also, find pressure on us, putting pressure and putting, making influence from other people, other, kind of category of the society to settle the claim quickly or positively.
One thing customers should always double check before filing a claim?
What is the peril covered and what are the exclusions? It must be checked twice.
Claim validation in one word?
Judgment. It is judgment. I'm a judge. As far as claim settlement is concerned, I'm a judge.
What keeps you passionate about insurance after all these years?
Yeah. Look, I have handled more than 1,500 claims by now. Each case is unique. It gives me an opportunity to meet many different people who are at distress, who are in need of your guidance and support, of course, within the framework of the policy terms and conditions. But as a surveyor and loss assessor, I am instrumental in loss assessment. Based on my report, only the underwriter settles the claim. The sooner I give, the better for him and me. And I get opportunity to travel to a lot of places and meeting a lot of places. And the most significant that, I'm very passionate about it is my fees is paid before the claim settlement amount is paid to the insured. So that keeps me motivated, and I'm also very, passionate about that, about this industry also.
Yeah, all right. So what we hear today is like reminds us of insurance doesn't start with paperwork. It starts with understanding. The experience and the judgment of professionals like Siba Pade sir are truly irreplaceable. No algorithms or AI can replicate decades of wisdom, ethics, and intuition. But what technology can do is make the expertise more accessible to millions of people who seek clarity, confidence, and fairness in their insurance journey. And that's exactly what innovators like Mr. Abhay Singh are making possible, blending human expertise into intelligent systems to simplify insurance for everyone. A big thank you to both of our guests for joining Startup Connect BFSI Episode 1, powered by the Startup Network, a community that brings together founders, entrepreneurs, and industry experts to share ideas, solve problems, and grow through collaborations. If you want to be a part of the ecosystem, visit www.thisstartupnetwork.in. The link is in the description below. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you in the next episode.